Yeah.
Speaking of powerful women, this is a great month. This is Women's Month.
It is
Yes,
Women's
it
History
is.
Month.
Yes,
Yeah, man.
Yes,
And we got an amazing person in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, that's where all this energy's coming from. Like, I'm super excited
Yeah.
about who we were able to come on with us today.
Yes, yes.
So, it's legend time. It's legend time here at OnPoint Experience right now.
Yeah.
We are blessed to have with us today TERESA Edwards.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, before we get real comfortable and crazy,
Because I can get crazy.
Let's do the formal introduction.
That's
There you
right.
I've known TERESA for what's it, a couple years now.
It's hard for him to say Teresa. He's usually T.
Yeah, it's like
okay,
Coach T.
okay.
I'm working on it.
Right,
I've known her, and I'm gonna tell you how I met her and didn't realize I had met her in a minute.
Right.
But she is so accomplished, for real. I
Yeah,
want
real,
everybody
real.
to know who we're sitting with today, all right? So let me just read this form. I'm gonna do it right. Let me
When we denim lights.
Voice up.
let me get the edible.
Get the edible.
All right, here we go. TERESA Edwards has the distinction of having been both the youngest and the oldest gold medalist for an Olympic women's team. She became the first American basketball player to participate in 5 Olympic Games, and the first American female to win a medal in 5 consecutive Olympics. She's holding 4 gold and 1 bronze. You were hurt that year, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll talk about that.
Unequivocally legendary.
Yeah.
TERESA has been inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, the International Basketball Federation Hall of Fame, FIBA, the United States Olympic Committee Hall of Fame, the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, Georgia's Hall of Fame, Cairo's Hall of Fame, the NCAA Silver Anniversary Award, and the University of Georgia's Circle of Honors, where her college jersey number 5 will never be worn again.
Wow.
'Cause she shut the number 5 down.
Dope.
That's what we
That's
do.
how you do it.
Most recognizable globally, she played abroad for 9 years. Traveling throughout the world from Europe and Asia, she captured professional championships in Italy, Spain, and France. Here at home, she's been a player and coach in the Women's National Basketball Association, the WNBA. Longevity and perseverance are staples associated with TERESA Edwards' career, and her signature is embedded in national prominence. Guiding and carrying numerous USA teams to medal, she stood atop the podium on every occasion. An ambassador and leader among her peers, TERESA was selected to take the competitor's oath at the opening ceremonies at the Atlanta Olympic Games.
Home.
In 2012,
Crazy.
the United States Olympic Committee appointed her as Chief de Mission for the United States delegation at the London Olympic Games. Sports Illustrated magazine places her as number 22 on the 100 greatest female athletes of the 20th century. I think they got their count wrong.
Yeah, I think so too. For real. We got to go back.
We're gonna talk to Sports Illustrated.
Hell yeah.
But TERESA Edwards is the embodiment of winning. She is a legend. She is American history.
Yes,
and she's
she is.
in the building. On
In
Point
the
Experience.
building.
We got TERESA
Yeah,
Edwards in the building with us. What's up?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, yo. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be on Point Experience Hall of Fame too. I think you in every Hall of Fame
like
there
it.
is, right?
I like
I already
it.
said I want to bring her back again.
Oh, yes.
We're gonna come back another time. We're gonna talk basketball.
I love it.
But
Yes.
today, because when you're so accomplished and known for one thing, you get pigeonholed.
Yes.
It's like
That's
she
true.
a ball player, she a ball player, she a ball
Right.
player. But I've known TERESA said for a couple of years, and this woman is dynamic, yo. She's got a lot of things going on. And if you don't believe me, Chris Carter was once on ESPN, and he's coaching high school football.
Right.
And
okay.
so a guy asked him, say, yo, Chris, do other football players know who you are? Like, they know that's Chris Carter on the sideline. And he said, well, yeah, every now and then some of them recognize me. He said, they give you a hard time to try to mess with you. Right. So they try to talk a little trash. He said, well, what do you say when they try to talk trash? I said, just Google me.
That's
That's
the
his
key.
thing. Chris Carter says, yo, if you got a question about who I am, just Google me.
Yes, a female told me
If
that.
you have any question
You have to use
Yeah.
that.
about
Yeah.
who Teresa Edwards is,
Google
this
her-
woman.
yes.
And if you bring up her Olympic Hall of Fame induction speech, you will be riveted.
I gotta say that I am so
I'm almost intimidated
amazed.
right now.
Yo,
Stop it.
bro. I was reading. I read bios all the time.
Yeah,
I'm reading
yeah.
the bio, and I'm like, yo, she is real Black history.
Completely.
You understand? You embody all the hopes, the tension, the struggle, all it, and then of course the accomplishments. You're like amazing. I gotta ask you this, because I'm kind of a little intimidated.
Stop it, guys. Yes.
Let me tell you.
Yes. Queen, is this normal?
Because here's what
This
happened.
normal.
Here's how I met
Talk
Teresa
to me.
Edwards. She's been working at the school that my sons attended. So my sons play basketball.
Right.
So I went to my youngest son's game. He's in like 7th grade.
Right.
And I kept hearing, Dad, Coach T, just T. She in the park. She teaches. I was like, okay, that's great. Somebody's helping you with your game. Great.
Yeah. A little game.
Nothing.
Man.
Nothing. Because they
Right.
never said Teresa. They could say T. So I go to a game and they had nobody working the table.
Right.
So like, yo, could you work the table? Like, sure, I got the book. I got the score. So I'm sitting there.
I do this.
And this woman sits down next to me.
Right.
And so we're watching the game. She's like, oh, these kids. And she's like going in on how they're playing ball. And
Right.
I can't mess with the ball play. I'm like, yeah, you remember back in the day? So we're just kicking it back and forth, talking about ball and what ball really used to be like.
Right.
And so then we left. It's like, good to see you. All right, I left. And so Lisa, I saw you that you're talking to T. I said, yeah, I was talking to T. That was T. Yeah, she's real cool. And then she said, yeah, Teresa Edwards. I said, wait. T is Teresa Edwards? He was like, yeah, who you I said, why'd y'all tell me I was talking to Teresa Edwards?
That changes everything,
I
right?
was sitting next to her.
Yeah, right?
That changes everything. It changes everything.
But what that showed me is just how real and down to earth.
Normal.
For all she's done, all this stuff on paper, this is just a real person.
Yeah.
Who cares about kids, who cares about her people, who cares about community, but through her story has so much to teach people from where she came to where the height she reached. She started at the top.
Right.
So go ahead and
No, I was gonna say, you know what? I want you to tell us your journey. How did you get to where you are the big thing? How did you get there? Start from like, you know what? Take us on the journey from the beginning.
You want to go back to Georgia?
Well, okay.
Listen, if you can nail a bicycle rim to a pine tree, that's where I came from. I mean,
Oh, you from Georgia?
I'm from the backwoods of Georgia, red dirt clay streets.
Wow, okay.
I was raised with 4 boys, like old brothers. I'm the oldest. Everyone always thinks I'm the youngest when I say that. But I'm the oldest, so I schooled them. But I had them.
Right.
So,
yo, and they got to eat that too because you got the rings to prove it. Yo, they got to eat that.
Yo,
The rings
I
and
got
medals.
the sweetest brothers alive. They are really sweet. They've always taken care of me. They've never taken
Right.
this personal, so I love
Right,
them
right,
dearly.
right.
So don't get it twisted. Those boys, they'll jump up here in a second. But no, I came from Georgia, and growing up there with little or nothing, but
Right.
everything at the same time because I had so much love from my mother,
Right.
and so much care from the neighborhood that I
Right.
never knew we didn't have. So basketball just became my joy, and it was that one thing that called me, like Ron said, the ministry.
But that aha moment, was it like did you see a neighborhood guy playing ball and you like that move and you're like, oh man, I want to know how to do that? Like, what was that aha moment like? That's it.
The aha moment. The boys in the neighborhood could beat me in everything.
Okay.
Running, football, marbles, we did everything. Climb
Right,
trees.
yeah.
I tried to beat them climbing trees. But once we got to the court, they couldn't beat me. And I was like, oh, I got it.
When did you realize you were more than block good? Like everybody's like, I was the best on my block. Like everybody's
Right.
When did you realize you were beyond block? Like you could put like the University of Georgia in your sights. When did you realize I got something?
I think one of my issues has always been that I didn't want to be arrogant. And so I never knew. I never got to that point where I could just say, dang, I am the it, right? I never got there. I was always climbing. And so even to this day, it's like, you're just not going to win. I was that person, like, you're just not going to win.
Right.
I don't care what it takes. I was the ugliest, I was the dirtiest, I was the whatever it takes, I'm going to win. So I just kept excelling because of that desire to win. But I never knew, like, I was that girl. I was that.
Yeah.
I never knew I intimidated women until later. They were like, no, you don't mess with her. Like, look at her. Like,
Wow.
like
Yo,
You
my
know?
God. So you was that lady when I'm driving and we're trying to go for that parking spot. She goes, "You're not gonna win.
Right.
I'm telling you straight
Right.
up, you're not gonna win.
Right.
Sit here all day, but I ain't moving.
I ain't moving.
It's so true.
Seriously. So let me ask you, what was your rituals? Because I mean, to be great, we talked about greatness and being obsessed with it.
Right.
To be great, you got to be obsessed with being the best.
True.
You know what I mean? What makes you great? Michael Jordan, all the other people. What were some of your rituals that you used to become great?
I think my first ritual was never train with girls. I wanted to play with the boys on all terms. Like I grew up at the park. All the boys.
Right.
I earned the right to play outdoors pickup ball with the boys. Once I earned that right, went from the last to the first being chosen. My training grounds was always in a gym where nothing but the best guys came through. They knew who I was. Once I walked in, I mean, you wanted to be on my team.
Right.
That's really
Wow.
weird. That's really weird, but you did. You wanted to be on my team.
Oh
like
my
guys
God.
was rushing to the gym to sign the list to be on my team.
We got now. Okay,
So-
who got
Wow.
next?
Right. We don't even care
Because we
about
stayed
that.
there all day. So I mean, my ritual was, hey, listen, I got to get to the gym, get my weights on. I got to get my running on. I got to wait till the guys come in because that was my job. My friends was like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I'm on the job. When I'm in the gym, I'm on the job." So
Did you take it outside of the gym, like in the neighborhood basketball courts? Were you that type of kid that was up at 3:00 in the morning, or at 9:00 when the lights was out? You still out there shooting things like that?
no, I told you earlier, I'm not a morning person. No, realistically, I wasn't that person that would motivate kids by saying, "Hey, you got to take 1,000 shots." I'm that person that's saying you got to leave it on the floor. Every time you go, you don't leave the gym until you're done. Like your body, mind, soul, spirit has to be kaput, done. So once I go to the gym, I put it in. I'm in there 8 hours. I mean, I wasn't that person that went to play and say I did my thing today. I went and said, okay, I got to go get this.
Right.
And that's what I did. That was my ritual. Get it in. Get every aspect of the game in every day. The problem is you don't know when to stop.
It becomes an addiction, huh?
Yeah, it is. I mean,
It is. It becomes a
Yeah.
huge addiction. Reading your bio and knowing a little about your background, you went overseas to play.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure as a kid from this country, it was different.
Very.
Culture was different, right?
Black girl, Italy,
right.
no language.
From the South, gritty, grimy, that talk trash. How did you transcend? How did you make that transition? So was it easy?
It was not easy, but it was the love of the game for me. Coming in and remembering where I came from, I didn't have anything really to go back to. I mean, my family, my mother, she's there dependent on me, but I didn't feel like she was, but I did feel like she was.
Right,
You know,
right.
So there was nothing to go back to. I left Georgia and said, and the first thing coming, I'm telling you, it wasn't $1 million contract. Trust me on that. You know, being a female back then, you took $5,000 to go overseas. It was like, oh,
Really?
that's more than I got.
Wow.
Dang,
Yeah,
it was still
yeah.
more than I had.
Yeah.
Right,
You know,
right,
so I hopped
right.
on that plane to Italy, and I got off there not knowing what the hell I had just done. I didn't speak the language.
Right.
I didn't realize race was that, like race around the world.
Was it
you know?
like the United States? The
Actually,
the
it's a little
racism?
better, to be honest with you, because I was a novelty all of a
Right,
sudden,
right,
So,
yeah.
and then, but the language barrier. When I got hungry, I learned that language very fast.
Oh, yeah.
Learning and best food in the world. That's some great pasta. I put on a lot of weight.
Yeah. Side point.
But I learned a lot about myself. But yeah, going overseas, and we didn't have a professional league here back in the 80s.
Right.
Yeah, that was a unique experience. I chased it. I realized once I got there, yes, I'm lonely. Yes, it's hard. No, there's no family. However, I'm doing what I love, and I'm getting paid for it.
Right.
So I was getting on that plane year after year.
So what did it mean to you when the WNBA was formed? And there was now professional women's ball here at home for you. What did that mean to you?
Oh my God! I spent many a years praying and hoping. Hey, why can't I do this at home? Feeling sorry for myself on foreign
Right.
turf. Why can't we do this at home? Why can't I do this where my family can support me? Blah blah blah.
Right.
When that actually happened, actually I turned 40 playing in the WNBA. I was, that's how many years it took to feel what it would take to be here and to be a part of something.
But you were gonna be
great
part
for
of it.
myself. Yeah, that's what I did.
I'm going out there.
You're a winner.
I look at LeBron now and I'm going, dude, I know how it feels because those young kids don't cut the same way we did. So
Right.
they make you look old before you're old. But I was
Right.
going to do it. You're right, Ron. I had to do it.
What was the bond like between you and that early core group?
Yeah.
Because I remember when they started the WNBA.
Yeah.
And I think they picked 8 cities and put like one legend in each
Each
city to
city.
kick it
Right,
off.
right, right.
Like
right.
Teresa Weatherspoon was here,
Right.
Rebecca Lobo was
Right.
Lisa Leslie in
LA,
Right.
and Christine Cooper went to
Right.
Houston, I think. But what was that bond between like you and Dawn Staley and Rebecca? Like y'all were that core. Y'all are American basketball. You're
Yeah.
women's
Right.
American basketball. What's that sisterhood like?
It's strong. It will never leave. It will never leave. And we're always chasing that feeling. Like I'm like texting Dawn, like, yo, how's the team doing? You know,
Because she's in South Carolina, right?
She's South Carolina. Oh, she's amazing.
University
She's
of South
our
Carolina.
next-
And she
she's gonna be our
coached
first
the
black
national
female Olympic coach.
Did she
Come on.
coach the women's national team at one point? Oh,
She's coaching it now. She is the Olympic
That's-
coach.
wow.
Come on, you gotta know this.
the quintessential point guard.
That's-
Y'all gotta call Dawn Staley up. That's big time.
Dawn, hit us up. We
That's
waiting
right.
for you.
Yeah,
On
you gotta
point.
hit
Got
Dawn.
a chair.
That's right.
Yeah.
We got a
But
chair for you,
But that
seriously.
sisterhood is really strong, and that's what really brought this professional league here. After 1996 team, the
Dream Team.
compilation of us coming together, being undefeated, traveling for an entire year, training to recapture the gold after losing the bronze and losing the gold in Barcelona.
Right.
It became very imperative that we were recapture that stage.
Right.
And so they restructured, and that team was an amazing group of women that came together forever to change the game for women's basketball across the world, really. And it started, it's a long story, but it started with another league that actually said, if you don't start the WNBA, we're going to start it. And now we have the WNBA. So there's a lot of pride associated with women and how we had to push for to have a professional league,
Yeah.
and now how we have to push
Yeah.
to keep it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, yes, that's a special group of women, and we were girls that became women through the process, if you ask me.
And some of those games are amazing, bro. I mean, like, I've taken my daughters to some in Massachusetts Gardens, and, not really having any type of expectations. I sit there and I realize in the middle of the game, I'm like, what are you talking about, ref? And I'm going down there. I'm walking. I want to play ball. Like, they got me so energized.
I will always contest that if you're a basketball purist,
Yeah.
if you want to see good basketball, watch women's basketball.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
women don't rely on, like, in the NBA now you have
I agree.
ridiculous athleticism, but you don't see good ball.
Right.
Right.
You see one guy jumping over another guy. You
Right.
see one guy dominating the ball. Or you don't see movement and backdoor
Yes.
and strategy and teamwork.
I
If you
actually-
want to see good ball, watch women's basketball.
I told my
Thank
daughter,
you.
my daughter was, they called her Baby Shaq because she was young, but she was a big girl at the time. And I would take her to the game just so she can learn the fundamentals.
Absolutely.
And I believe that women, because I believe women on a whole are just so detailed.
Detail oriented, very much
Right.
so. Very much
so detailed that their game of playing ball is so much better, I believe, than a lot of the men's basketball team. I mean, you're gonna find guys, like you said, jumping over each other, dunks. Yeah, that's exciting. But going back to the fundamentals, that's what made Michael Jordan a great ball player, because he went back to the fundamentals. I believe, anyway.
So
Right.
you're still involved in basketball.
Absolutely.
What do you see when you see basketball today?
Wow.
Right.
That's a big subject matter.
Yeah.
Very different. Very different. I see a lot of hype names with very small games sometimes, and I still see the grit of the love for the game at the same time. Like I think everyone likes to play the blame game, the AAU, the this and that,
Right.
right? But in actuality, if there's a blame game, it's on us because we didn't teach it or we didn't pass it along in the correct manner. So as Ron would tell you, I'm a stickler for details. I am an executioner. I am prepare the kids for the next level type of individual because that's what I did. That's what I was taught. That's what I was given. So I'm about passing it on.
That's what's up.
And so what I see is through my eyes is a lot. The game goes differently. It's like a film, and you're editing the entire time when you're watching. When you're a basketball player of my caliber, it's hard to watch a game and just enjoy it as an entertainment factor.
Right.
You see so much, and it's like
She gets me amped.
Now,
Just
Yeah,
talking.
like,
I'm like,
can I just say that I
intense.
love how she said when you're a basketball player of my caliber?
yeah.
She's saying what y'all watch on MSG
Right,
is different than
yeah,
what I
right.
see.
yeah.
I noticed that too. That's what's up, guys.
the
Listen,
thing
greatness is greatness. We're not
Yeah,
denying it in this
at
room.
all.
Now,
Right.
you guys were saying, like, you watch the women's game, and I'm sitting over here going, but yeah, but those sponsors out there, they don't give to our game the way they give to
Absolutely.
the men.
Yeah.
So there's got to be
Right.
something that we're missing. And, so what I do is I cut the volume down. When I cut the volume down, I love women's game. If I turn it up, men are hype about nothing when they watch men's game,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
You guys get hype. I ain't mad at you. It's hype.
Right.
I get hype too.
Too
if
much
I listen.
testosterone in the room. It just
Right?
goes off.
But it's
That's
all
it.
good. It's all good. That's what you do. But you watch women's game, it's like, yes, she graduated and her father. took her
Yeah, the energy is
it's
definitely
like, are you
different.
serious?
Yeah,
If you don't
energy is
hype this
different.
thing, so when I go to games or if I'm a guest analyst for a game, I'm like yelling in the mic. I'm like, did you see that? Well, I saw that 2 passes before. Like, I'm in it because
Yeah.
I want
In it.
people to love us.
a passion
for it.
the
You
have a
same
passion for
way,
it.
and I do have a
Right.
passion. But I want you guys to love us
The
and
same
feel
way.
it the same way.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
can hear you, and I respect it as a
Right.
female. Like, I respect it. You have a daughter.
Right.
They'll make you do it. Alaki, I'm gonna make his daughter love this game. All right,
Listen.
he's gonna love this thing the same way he watch it with his boys.
Whether
when I
he
get
like
done
it or
with
not.
I have seen Teresa coach.
How
And
is she?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, we do not have this big program in a big gym. We're in a gym that's not even a full size regulation gym. We're in like an elementary school gym
Yeah.
with roll in the room.
Ron,
rims.
give us the visual.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead, give us a visual.
So we'll get like this afternoon at 4:00. We got a room full of teenage 16-year-olds. I'm bringing through. Right, we're getting our
Right.
16 team together. If
Right.
she is there,
Right.
she will stand on the sideline and she'll try to watch, or
Right.
she'll try to go upstairs.
So
I'm
true.
gonna let the coach down there coach his team.
True.
And I'm sitting next to Coach T when another coach is coaching. We're sitting there, and it begins with the foot tap,
Oh,
and then it's kind of she gets kind of the
Rocking.
church lady rock, like
yeah.
I want to hand her a fan in the offering place.
So
That's the
true.
Georgia coming out, and I know it's over when she starts pacing.
Really?
And this is 14, 15-year-olds in a practice. And before I look up, she will go down to the court and she'll like, I'm sorry.
I gotta intervene.
I'm sorry. But she teaches the game of basketball. She's like, I cannot sit here and watch you play the wrong way.
Right.
And even as a coach, she will come in when I said, Ron, no disrespect. You got to do the drill the right way. You got to get this
Yeah.
right. We can't go on to anything else until you get this. We
Right.
cannot do
Yeah.
these kids a disservice. And her passion completely takes over. And like I said, no cameras, no $1 million nothing, no Olympic rings, just in the lab grinding. She's there. She has offered to take my son, one kid. My
Right.
son is like 5'9", and he's been accepted to a couple of D1 colleges.
Okay.
And he wants to play ball. She's like, I don't know if you can get there, but I will train you.
That's what's up.
One-on-one. I will try and get you there if you want to try and try it as a walk-on. For nothing, she's like, yo, if one kid is hungry, I'll take that one kid in the park.
That's what's
And I give
up.
him everything I got for one kid. And I've seen her do it for other kids. That's who she is. Nobody around. She'll go to Central Park, get an empty rim, and just, yo, let's work on whatever. She's that's who she is.
And that leads me to this question. I find your story just amazing as a ball player.
And it's still being written.
And it's still being written. We're going to
True
get to
that.
that. We're going to
True
get to that. But I wanted to ask you, give me an example of coming into a situation, a problem, and how did you find the solution to that? Talking about game or even coaching. Do you have a story that
Personally?
Yeah.
Oh God, do I? I mean, there's always challenges, right?
Right.
There's always challenges, and I think my biggest challenge has always been I've been this athletic kid, I've been the hardest working kid, I've been someone that's proven to win.
right?
And once you get there, you're challenged in a different way. Someone wants you to feel. They want you to feel failure all of a sudden. They want you to have show me what you're really made
You're not a
of.
true champion until you
Right,
fail.
right.
Yeah.
So I think later in my career, I began to deal with things of that nature, and
Okay.
it really was a spiritual journey. Then, like you gotta dig.
Wow.
And what I found then out about myself was, you didn't give me this. I really did. Like, you didn't give me basketball, you're not gonna take it. And it took me to a whole nother level.
Wow.
Like this thing is real. When you love
Wow.
something, like
Right.
the way you guys speak, when you love something,
Yeah.
you're going to be challenged on every level. It's not about a
Absolutely.
layup. It's not about the shot I missed. It's not about the last shot in the game. It
Right.
wasn't about that, because that's what I'm bred on.
Right.
But when you try to take that from me,
We have a
you're
problem.
You're dealing with something different. So I think those are the biggest challenges I've had to deal with in my basketball career that I came through.
So, you know, on the other side of that, I know when I won a trophy when I was young and playing ball, that was like, I mean, I polished that thing like. My mother goes, if you keep polishing, you're gonna get the gold. Right. And honestly, it started to turn silver, and I was like, what the hell? I thought it was actually real gold, right?
Me too.
So I wanted to ask, it leads me to this question. When you was inducted into the Hall of Fame, the first one, was that any different than the fourth one or the third one? Was it any different?
Good question. Never had that one. Yeah, actually. I look at the Olympics as like the world stage, but you got the Naismith, which is the biggest in the land.
And yeah.
So those two are like, once you do that, what's the need of doing the other ones? You just
right.
kind of like showing up
and cruise control.
Yeah,
in,
like
right?
you're almost like helping everybody now. Like I shouldn't say that, but that's after a while it's like, oh my God, I got to do another one. But
what a problem to have.
But it's a great problem to have. You're right, and I was grateful. But I'm being honest. Like it's like, oh my God, I got to go buy another dress.
You want an amazing moment, Will?
What's that?
Our kids played in the Springfield tournament up in Mass.
Really?
So we're playing ball in a tournament across from the Hall of Fame, and we're like, yo,
wow.
In between games, go across the hall and go see Coach T.
Like you don't have to Google me.
Like she
Just
right
go over
there.
and visit.
Like,
that's what's up.
She right there.
That is crazy. So, I see you have so many layers.
Yeah,
like it's amazing.
It's a lot.
I need to know what's going on with the book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on.
You tell me
So
about
I've been
that.
writing for years. I've been trying to ink my story, and it started like, okay, I got to tell my story for my family. That's how it started for me. Like my mom, my family, who came before her,
right?
How we landed here and all this kind of stuff. That's not in the book, but I got to tell Teresa version of Teresa and my journey, and that's really how it started for me. And it was just one of those things that happened where it was the toughest year of my life in basketball, and what I wanted to find out, who am I? Like, how did I become this person? And I found out that one year in basketball that was the toughest. So I started writing to center, wow, my mother did this when I was young. She made me take care of my brothers. But who took care of me? Oh, my mother. Every time I look back, it was mom, right? Mom was right there, right? But she taught me so much. So I value this woman for everything that I am. I value my mother. And the book started becoming about mom. I'm like, okay, T, you're getting crazy, right? Like you're getting all the way
obsessed with
mom.
mom.
Right? You're getting all the way from basketball. So all these years go by, and I'm still writing. Right. And all of a sudden, I said, this thing is sounding like a script. The more I let people read it, it started beginning to sound like a script. I'm like, you're right. Now I'm pushing that aside. I said, okay, I want to become an author.
Okay.
So I started writing poems. I'm like, nobody's gonna believe this. A basketball player,
writing poems.
That's
like Kobe Bryant going to rap,
right? You're female jocks, you don't write poems, but they just come. They came, and I started writing poems to recognize the old women that came before me. I started writing out my frustrations, like paying my dues and still standing on the sideline looking at everybody else get theirs, right? All this stuff, like struggles and toughness, and it just became more of a spiritual journey. So now I'm like,
do you have anything with you? You have any poetry?
I do. I really love to read.
Can we hear some Teresa Edwards, the poet?
I'm gonna just hit the one with the tribute.
There you go. We don't cut the music. Matter of fact, we dim the lights for you?
No, please, don't do that. Don't do that.
Just
don't
want
do
to make you feel comfortable. That's all.
I'm just gonna shout out to the old people. This is my tribute to the ones who paved the way. Their voices unheard and names unspoken until today. We don't understand the dues, but there is a price to pay. I hope we figure this out along the way. It's important for the little baller girls today. Trish, Gail, Charlotte, and Lucille Harris set the tone. Historically, the list goes on and on. But if you don't know Lynette Woodard, Janice Lawrence, and LaTanya, then history is wrong. By the way, Pam and Paula, the twins, they are the powerhouse that made Cheryl Miller strong. Never my intent to hate or diss any other on prior lists, but I must insist. True ballers was Joyce Walker and Janice Harrison. They were the real deal to skills that you missed. Valerie Steele in Kentucky even threw the game into a twist. A shooter like LaTanya Pollard hit all net with a shot that was so pure. A winning warrior was Janice with a bank shot off the backboard like cash money for sure. Then came Adina Dixon, a player that was slice and dice so sweet there was no cure. Now, no barriers were broken, but they all had impact. The growth of the game was through their talent, not because they were all black. To market the present age without acknowledging the past holds us back. Understandably, my heart feels pain when listening to women speak history concerning the women's game. Rarely ever do I hear any of these names. You may not like it, or it's on me to stake this claim. Historians, these are the women who represents from whence I came. This is basketball's history, as true as I can find, for the love of the game was the sign of the time. Competition fueled them for it. They put their hearts on the line. Strong, athletic scorers who could stop on the dime. The strength of our history would blow your mind. Role models come in all shapes and form, but to never mention Miriam, Vivian, even Renee now, that goes against the norm. These ladies have and continue to carry the baton with intelligence, class, and charm. Looking back to correct wrongs to right, because of you, the stage today is so bright. Thank you for loving the game outside the spotlight, for bouncing the ball in skirts and shorts that were skin tight. But lest we forget, it was Mildred the babe, the mother of greatness, that the redheads and journeys might, to ball and accomplish so much against many plights. And shout out to my faves, the Blaze, Myers, Drysdale, and Donovan, who were also greatness in white.
That's what I'm talking about.
There we go.
That
Awesome.
It was long, but that's my tribute to my ladies.
No, listen, this is your day. This is your day, for real.
And you kind of took me back because in 4th grade, I lost a bet about Lucia Harris.
Yeah.
Because I think she was it Delta State? She
Yeah,
played for?
go run.
Go ahead, Ron.
And Delta State was in New York City playing St. John's at Madison Square Garden. And I had a gym teacher, Mr. Shepard, who was like, who you think's going to win the game? I was like, oh, St. John's. Nobody know about no Delta State.
Right.
St. John's.
Lucille was bad.
He said, what do you want to bet me that Delta State beat St. John's? I was like, man, please.
What were they rate?
I don't even know. It was St. John's. I'm 8 years old. I had no idea.
Okay.
And so I said, I got $1. He said, all right, I'll bet you $1 that Delta State's going to beat St. John's. I was like, no way. Lucia dropped 45 in the
Oh my!
Garden.
No, I was talking about Delta State. Where were they ranked? Would you remember?
Oh, I did. It's funny because later that year they did the article in Ebony magazine.
Holy!
I saw it and I was like, oh, that's why he knew. She's
Yeah, they were ranked. They were ranked. Yeah.
He knew. He
You got to
praised
remember,
Ron.
back then they didn't post anything.
right.
Right.
And there was no ESPN.
That's right. To
Yeah.
give you that
So
information.
all I knew was St. John's basketball. I was like, ain't nobody better than St. John's.
That's right. St. John's with the truth.
I was like,
Come
Delta
from
State,
Queens.
where is that? He was like, trust me. He said, watch. I forgot. I remember she said, watch her. And she was in Ebony magazine later that year. She dropped 45. against St. John's.
Lucille was no
Yo.
joke. No joke. No joke.
Teresa, let me ask you, what do you believe are your greatest strengths? And also, on the flip side of the coin, your weaknesses.
Good ones. Greatest strengths. I think being self-motivated, being spiritual, and having an abominable will to succeed at everything I do is gets me up every day. It was basketball, it was life, and watching my mother do that on a smaller scale as a child. I tell everybody when I speak, my mother was a go-getter before getting it was famous. You know,
I know that's right.
She could go get anything. It was cold, she'd go get some heat. You know, you were hungry. She gonna go get that food. She's gonna empty fridge. She's gonna
Right.
produce food. You know, so my mother was a go-getter. So I just think I've just carried a lot of traits from her. Weakness. Weakness. That's hard.
It's okay.
really
I don't
hard.
have none. Say it.
Oh
I don't
yes,
have
I do.
none.
I do. I'm a stubborn girl. I'm a very stubborn woman.
Well, you're a winner. Most winners.
Yeah.
It's very hard. You gotta be.
Yeah, I got this strong belief that I can do whatever I put my mind to, so I don't
That
have to
almost
be
irrational
normal. Like
faith
I
in
don't have to
yourself.
be like everybody else.
That's good.
Here's something I'd like to ask you because I understand how frustrating it has to be Teresa Edwards.
Yeah.
Because if you were Terry Edwards,
Woo!
you would have.
Y'all may not have me in here right now.
We couldn't have Terry Edwards in here. We couldn't have got past your agent.
Nah.
You'd be on ESPN hosting something today, College Game Day or something. You'd be somewhere doing something bigger. The game would have made a way for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you that women's legends don't have the same access and opportunities that the male counterparts have had? And if you had the access, what would Teresa Edwards like to be doing? Actually, not what you like to be, because I know you're going to do it. What's Teresa Edwards want to do going forward?
Well, it's the gender thing goes back so far that going forward it's all about taking one day at a time and being who you are and trailblazing. It's constantly a trailblazing thing for women, seems like. And so I don't spend much energy regretting being a female. That's for sure, if you want to know. I just think we're special about who we are, and we're here to do. I feel like I'm here to do what Teresa's here to do. So I don't try to overthink that process. But I also don't think there should be limits placed on women. And so the comparison is, to me, it is what it is. We see it. We constantly sit down at the table and talk about it, but nothing changes. So my frustration is not going to sit there. I'm going to just continue to be a doer. You know, I can look at Queen and go like, man, this is the guy going on. She's doing her thing. We're all doing our thing behind the scenes.
Queen for a reason.
We don't have to be on that stage, and we don't have to have people out there saying, oh, she succeeded. I don't have to be Oprah. Honestly, I can be Oprah. I can be Teresa where I am and feel like Oprah. And that's okay for me, because I want to be a person that impact lives. You know, but I also want to be a person that get paid.
Well,
and that's the difference, you know.
Real talk.
You know,
real talk.
And that's the difference. And now, so my struggle is, how do Teresa get paid to be Teresa? And so that, to me, that keeps me grinding, keeps me going, and I'm going for mine. And Ron, what do I want to do? I want to do everything. Man, that's how I'm made. I want to write. I want to produce. I want to see women's stories, women in sports stories in the light. I want to continue to speak. I want to, and I still want to show up in that small gym and yell at these kids about being great basketball players. Because for the people who don't know, you are a motivational speaker. You travel the country speaking. So people
I can see that.
all over can get a hold of Teresa Edwards and get her to bring this information to where they are. But you got something?
Yeah, we actually have a caller. Caller, you're on OnPoint Experience.
Hi, this is Yasmin.
Yo, what up, Queen? Yes, what's up? Talk to me.
I just want to say that I usually don't call in when I'm not there.
You're usually here.
I like to believe that the guys there got it holding it down, you know. But I was listening to it. You know, my son and I were heading out to college for recruitment. And so as a mother of an athlete, I just want to say thank you, Teresa, for all the work that you've done. And, you know, you are inspiration, not just to young women, but to athletes all over that are looking to understand what it takes to go to that next level. It's not easy. And thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sorry I missed you. I look forward to meeting you.
Well, you come back. We got a remix version.
Yeah, big shout out to Yasmin, who put this platform together, and to her son Ajani, who is a back-to-back two-time New York State football champion.
Oh wow!
I saw the ring. That big ring. I saw it.
And he's definitely doing big things.
Yeah,
so respect to that family.
You know, it takes every time it takes. Every level takes some commitment there, and you know, what we're going through right now, it just everything that you said just speaks to what we're going through and what every minute. And again, like I really can't express how fortunate we are to have you on our show. You have made our show so much better, you being on there. But again, just thank you, and just keep doing what you're doing. If there's anything that we can do at OnPoint Experience to support your efforts, we are here for you.
Thank you. Absolutely. I'll be back when that book is packaged, okay?
There you go. Thanks for calling in, Yaz. I appreciate that.
Good luck on the tour.
All right, everybody.
All right.
I'll talk to y'all later.
Enjoy.
So to wrap this up, I hate to see you go, so you're gonna stay here because we got another guest, and then we have Dad Time with my boy Ron. But I want to ask you, you have anything you want to say? Like you have a last famous quote, Miss Teresa Edwards quote, or something you may want to say to the audience?
Well, you know, I'm deep, but I try not to be.
I
try to keep it light, but you know, it's basic. Let's keep it basic. I think if you have dreams, you have to have faith in them. So I always tell kids, you dream with faith, you keep your head up, and you go get it. And wherever you go get it, you make sure you light it up and leave a sound base there that people will always remember. That's it. You know, keep it basic and follow your dreams. Like, you know, this world will tell you be one thing and it will tell you to be another tomorrow.
Right.
And if you don't get in tune with that spirit of yours and follow it, it's put there for a reason.
Right.
You know, it's not just for a season. It's put there for a reason.
Right.
Follow that. It's okay. It's okay. Don't try to be like the next man. Be who you were born to be.
And there you have it. There's nothing to follow that.
That's why she's the great, legendary Teresa Edwards right there. Enough
Yeah.
said. Thank you so much.
Thank you
y'all.
for coming
This is
back.
awesome.
I want you to stay here because we got another guest, and then of course Big Ron gonna come on. So Queen, please take us away. We'll be back shortly. On Point Experience.